How did Yeti turn a simple idea for better coolers into a $3 billion empire? They didn't just enter the market, they dominated a niche that others overlooked. Maybe you don't even know what Yeti does, but that's by the way. My focus today is on something more specific to you. In today's video, we're uncovering the exact strategies Yeti used to stand out, and I'm going to show you how to find your unique niche to rise above the competition in any industry. So stick around, because this insight could propel you into the top 1% of the top 1% in your industry. And I'm not even kidding, so let's get started. Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tolulope Michael, tech entrepreneur, cybersecurity expert, and career coach at Excel Mind Cyber. Before we get into the topic for today, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscription button to know when we drop another awesome content like this one. So let's take it from the ground up. I have been an entrepreneur for a while now, and just like anyone who runs a business, I've had my fair share of highs and lows. After about a decade of entrepreneurship, one lesson that is super clear to me is that standing out in today's competitive market isn't about having a great product. You must also have a laser-focused niche, something that makes people stop, notice, and trust you instantly. I've had people ask me how for years I was able to hold down multiple jobs while building successful businesses. This video is the answer to that question. And that brings us to our first question. What is a niche? A niche is a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. But definitely, more than that, it's your unique angle, your specific group of people, and the distinct way you meet their needs. Your niche is essentially the sweet spot in your business where your interests, skills, and market needs intersect. For instance, let's say you're a fitness trainer, but instead of targeting everyone who wants to get fit, you zero in on helping new moms who want to regain strength and confidence after childbirth. Suddenly, you are not just another fitness trainer, you are the go-to person for a specific group with very specific needs. This is where you create something memorable and meaningful, because not only is your niche about what you do, it's about who you serve and how you serve them in that unique way that nobody else can. According to one of my favorite marketing experts, Adriana James, your niche is like wearing clothes. If you don't have it, you might feel like you're walking around exposed, not fully ready to engage with your audience. And that's exactly what we're avoiding today, because by the end of this video, you will know your strength, your audience, and how to match the two for maximum impact. Now, to begin with, you can't understand your niche without understanding yourself. So understanding yourself is the foundation for defining a niche that's authentic and sustainable. You see, a niche that's truly yours isn't just about filling a gap in the market. It's about aligning that gap with your unique strength, interest, and values. So, what you want to do is ask yourself, what am I good at? What unique experiences do I bring? What makes me come alive? After this, you make a list of your strengths, your skills, and even personal achievements. Then think about your background too. Maybe you've got experience in tech and education. Well, that could position you perfectly to help schools integrate new technologies. Or if you're a finance expert with an artistic side, you could specialize in guiding creative entrepreneurs through budgeting in a way that doesn't feel like a chore. The key is to dig deeper than just your job title. Think about what comes naturally to you, what you're passionate about, and how those qualities could serve a specific audience. Because right there is where your niche is. But here's the thing, a lot of us are quick to dismiss the quirks that make us unique. We overlook those interests or skills that seem unrelated at first glance, when in fact they could be the defining factor that set us apart from everyone else. Think about Steve Jobs. For instance, early in his life, he took a calligraphy course simply because he found it interesting. At the time, it had no connection to computers or business. He was just drawn to the beauty and artistry of different fonts. But years later, that seemingly random interest in calligraphy inspired him to make typography a central element of Apple's design philosophy. The sleek fonts and clean designs we see today all stem from that one quirk of his. It wasn't obvious at the time. His love for calligraphy transformed the look and feel of personal computing, giving it personality and visual appeal. So let's say you're into fitness, but you're also fascinated by nutrition and love experimenting with recipes. You could carve out a niche that focuses on helping people build strength through a combination of workout routines and meal planning. A complete lifestyle approach that's all about balance and wellness. Or maybe you're a photographer who's also passionate about hiking and exploring hidden natural spots. Your niche could be capturing adventure photography for people who want more than just traditional studio shots, couples, families, or solo travelers who want their photos to reflect their adventurous spirit. When you dig deeper, those unique interests and combinations are what make you memorable. In a world full of options, these small but personal touches are often the things that attract people to you specifically. So instead of blending in, you're standing out by creating something that's uniquely yours that nobody can replicate or take away from you. Now, the next thing is to know who is not your audience. Yes, you heard that right. While everyone talks about identifying who your audience is, understanding who isn't your audience is just as essential. And sometimes even more enlightening. I often tell people who are confused about paths to take that knowing the path you don't want to take are often as important as knowing the ones you want to take. Think of it like navigating a maze. Sometimes knowing which paths are not for you can be just as powerful as finding the one that is. So when you start eliminating who your product or services isn't meant for, you gain clarity on who actually needs what you offer. It's a process of elimination that sharpens your focus on the real value you bring. So let's get back to the ideal customer. Defining them clearly will help you shape everything: your message, your product, and even how you connect with people. Now, I have an exercise for you. Picture your perfect client as clearly as possible. Are they young professionals looking to fast-track their careers, parents wanting a healthier lifestyle for their family, or maybe a small business owners overwhelmed by time management? The key is specificity. Yes, targeting teenagers with problems, for instance, is way too broad and will leave your message feeling generic. But if you focus on middle-class female teens aged 16 to 18 who are struggling with academic stress, now that's a niche. You're zoning in on a specific type of client, one with particular needs that you're uniquely equipped to meet. By understanding who is in your audience, you're free to dive deeper into exactly who is. This focus not only strengthens your brand, but allows you to serve your audience in a way that feels authentic and impactful. Once you have who is not your audience sorted, now you need to research the demand. And this is super important, but you must be certain that there is a real demand for what you have to offer. Because it's not enough to have a great idea or to spot a gap in the market. You need to know if the gap represents a real opportunity. There's a funny, insightful saying that goes, just because there's a gap in the market doesn't mean there's a market in the gap. In essence, simply finding an area with few competitors doesn't guarantee people actually want or need what you're offering. You have to dig deeper and find out if people are not only interested in your product, but are also willing to pay for it. Now take Google Glass as an example. When Google released its high-tech augmented reality glasses, it seemed like they had identified a gap in the market for wearing smart technology. But in reality, there wasn't a substantial demand. Consumers were put off by privacy concerns, high cost, and an unclear use case. While the technology was impressive, it didn't address a specific need that people were willing to pay for, which ultimately led to its commercial failure. Now contrast that with Airbnb. When Airbnb launched, there was already a crowded market for accommodations. Hotels, motels, and vacation renters were all well established. But Airbnb identified a niche within that market. People looking for unique, home-like experiences, often at a lower cost than traditional hotels. Now, not only was there demand, but people were willing to pay for the convenience and unique experiences that Airbnb provided. Today, it's a multi-billion-dollar company because it tapped into a real demand with a service that people wanted. To make sure there is demand for your idea, I have a few practical steps you can try. First, Use tools like Google Trends or Keyword Planner to see if people are searching for product or services like yours. If your concept is, say, a subscription box for eco-friendly household product, check if people are actively searching for sustainable alternatives online. Secondly, run a small test or pilot, maybe a limited release or low-cost online workshop to gauge interest. See if people actually sign up and are willing to pay. And lastly, look at competitors and their reviews. What are customers saying? Are there unmet needs they are vocalizing? For example, the popular Dollar Shave Club tapped into demand by offering affordable razors on a subscription basis. A simple concept that filled a real need for convenience and price transparency. So by researching demand thoroughly, you're setting yourself up for success and avoiding the trap of chasing ideas that might sound great but lack real-world traction. Still on the topic of research, evaluating the competition is a step you don't want to miss. Now let's face it, competition is actually a good thing. If you're entering a niche with no competitors, it could be a warning sign that there's no demand. In most cases, competition means there is interest and potentially a profitable market. So instead of avoiding it, think about how you can position yourself uniquely within that space. For example, the personal development field is a crowded one, dominated by big names like Tony Robbins. But that doesn't mean there's no room for newcomers. The key here is to carve out a distinct angle. Maybe your unique edge is in coaching specifically for introverts, helping them find confidence in their quiet strength. Or perhaps your focus is on working with small business owners who feel stuck and need actionable steps to break out of their rut. A successful niche combines what's already popular with a fresh perspective that no one else is offering. It's like finding the perfect puzzle piece. If you can offer a unique approach that fits where others don't, you will naturally stand out. Think about Peloton in the fitness industry. Exercise equipment and workout videos were nothing new, but Peloton found its niche by creating a community-driven experience with live, interactive classes. By giving users the feel of a boutique fitness classes from home, they took an established market and put a unique digital spin on it. So competition isn't the enemy. It's your chance to refine your offer and stand out in a way that resonates with a specific group of people who are waiting for exactly what you bring. And now, it's time to put your niche to test. Don't worry, this doesn't have to be a huge commitment right away. The way to go is to start small. Think weekend workshops, an online webinar, or even a simple digital download. The goal here is to offer a sample of what you can do without over-investing, so you can gauge interest and gather honest feedback. This is exactly what niche expert Adriana James recommends. Put a taste of your expertise out there to see if it resonates with people. Let's say your niche is fitness for new moms, like I said earlier. Try hosting a free online class specifically designed to address the unique challenges new mothers face, like postpartum recovery and fitness routines that fit around a busy schedule. Watch how people respond. Do they show up? Are they engaged? And more importantly, are they interested in learning more from you? This feedback is pure gold because it's going to tell you what's working, what is not, and where you can improve. Maybe you find that the moms love the flexibility of a live class but want shorter sessions. Or perhaps they're asking for more nutritional guidance alongside the fitness component. See, these insights help you refine your offering to better fit what your audience needs. The best part is testing your niche this way lets you evolve and improve before you go all in. It's about making small adjustments and building momentum, ensuring that by the time you're ready to launch fully, you are bringing a polished, well-tested offer to a group that is eager for it. So, finding your niche is only the beginning. As you get to know your clients better, listen to their evolving needs and pivot when necessary. Many successful brands started with one niche and expanded as they gain traction. Maybe you start with coaching one-on-one, but as your brand grows, you evolve into group workshops or even online courses. Take the example of meditation apps. They started off with simple meditative exercises and have since expanded into sleep stories, stress management, and even fitness. So your niche should be flexible enough to grow with you. Now let's look at a few real-world examples for inspiration. The company, Glossier, for instance, focused initially on creating minimalist, easy-to-use skincare products for young women who wanted a natural look. They carved a niche by keeping things simple and relatable, speaking to customers who felt overwhelmed by complex beauty routines. Or take Dollar Shave Club. They didn't invent razors, but they found a niche by targeting men who didn't want a hassle of going to the store for overpriced razors. Their unique selling point was affordable, subscription-based convenience, and they nailed it. And studies show that 82% of consumers are more likely to buy from a company with a mission or purpose. So when finding your niche, consider what drives you and what you want to contribute to your customers' lives. I will leave you with this final thought. The psychology behind a great niche is that people don't just buy products, they buy solutions to their problems. To truly stand out, you need to understand the real concerns of your audience. Adriana James says it best. Step into your client's shoes and ask yourself, what are their pain points? What keeps them up at night? Maybe they are small business owners struggling with growth but feeling stuck. When you can speak to these specific worries, your message becomes magnetic. I hope you got something helpful from this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. And I hope I've been able to leave you today better than I met you. Till I see you again, keep winning. Bye for now.